and I'll never forget this as long as I live. We were talking, and the phone rang, and I think it was Gus was at the phone, and he said, Jay, it's NBC. They want to talk to you. And Greg said, tell him I'll call him back later. Well, that made me feel important, you know. It's like, wow. And then a minute later, I said, Jay, it's the LA Times. They want to talk to you. And he said, I'll take that later. I'll call back later. And I was thinking, wow, I'm on a roll here. And then Gus called again to the office and said, gee, I don't remember the name, someone just got released from the county jail. And Greg said, I'll take that call. There was nobody, there was no cameras, there was nobody in the office, just lonely old me. And that's what I learned. I learned that you have to look for the student who is the most discouraged, that has almost given up. And that's the student you have to reach out to. Anybody can go out and teach a Shakespeare class, and I have, and I enjoy it. But to reach the English 21 student, they want to learn every bit as much as the Shakespeare students. They just need people to believe in them. And I thank God that I met Greg Boyle, because he's made me a better human being. Without further ado, I'd like you to meet Father Greg Boyle.
So I think in closing, I think what we're hoping to do, I think, as a society is to somehow create a community of kinship such that God, in fact, might recognize it. And we can only do that if we pay attention, and if folks on the margins just want to kind of fall within the notice, I had a very earnest 16-year-old gang member come into my office, and he's standing in front of my desk, and he says, look, I need your divided attention. And I said, you are in luck, because that's exactly what you'll be getting. But so we figure out a way, how do we inch our way out to the margins? And here's the thing: if you stand at the margins, look at your feet, and you'll notice that they're getting erased just because you've chosen to stand there. And you stand with the poor and the powerless and the voiceless, and you stand with those whose burdens are more than they can bear, and you stand with those like the East Side Spirit and Pride stands with those whose dignity has been denied, and you stand with the easily despised and the readily left out, and you stand with the demonized so that the demonizing will stop, and with the disposable so that the day will come when we stop throwing people away. And so at East, I love East, and I love East Side Spirit and Pride, and I love Dennis Sanchez. And if you stand out at the margins, people will accuse you of wasting your time. But the prophet Jeremiah writes, in this place of which you say it is a waste, there will be heard again the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voices of those who sing. East Side Spirit and Pride makes those voices heard. There's nothing more noble than that. And thank you for coming here tonight.